Tonight again, our topic, domestic violence. If you have a call, we still have time. 855-LAW-1955. Danielle, question for you. You and I were talking before the show about an astounding statistic that you all have found when it comes to homicide suspects and domestic violence cases. Talk about that a little bit, if you will.
Yes. The Jefferson County DA's office was able to compile data, and it showed that 74% of all homicides in 2022 had a domestic violence component. So either they had history of domestic violence, or they had been arrested or been found guilty for a DV of some sort. So for us, it was what we kind of knew, but we had the data to kind of show that domestic violence is community violence.
And this is, those numbers are for the suspects.
Yes.
Arrested.
So yes, for those who have been arrested for all of in Jefferson County the homicides.
That is, to me, that is just astounding that 74% of those who perpetrated or are accused of perpetrating a homicide have that correlation. And what I love about you all center too is that you really go back and look at history.
Yes.
So even childhood and,
Right.
and where folks, the victim or children
Right.
of parents, it's kind of a complete person that you all look at as well. Talk about that, if you will.
Most definitely. I think in the work that we've done, especially with our direct services, we have also kind of seen that those who have had the history, that they can sometimes go the way of being the perpetrator, sometimes the way of being the victims. And so we know that if we can start at an earlier age, that we can also make a difference in being able to stop that from happening, and that they can be resilient and kind of live those healthy lives.
So with those, I mean, those 74% is just an unbelievable correlation. But I have a question. In that 74% of those folks who have been, I guess, suspected or suspects of homicide that have domestic violence backgrounds, were there any percentage of those people victims of domestic violence?
I don't know that for sure, but I think that's a great question to ask. I think if we look back, it wouldn't be surprising that sometimes though that the stats kind of always say that sometimes those who have been convicted or sometimes in prison, sometimes they do have that history, so it wouldn't be surprising.